Hi, it's Roger Pettingell. Welcome back to this special oyster version of Realtalk here. We're on Bird Key. We're at our listing at East Royal Flamingo with a special guest, Damon Moore. And he is, I've never heard of this before. Well, it is kind of new. It's called the Oyster River Ecology. And it's an organization that you have formed because...
So we're a nonprofit organization, and we formed a couple of months ago, and our goal is to make more large-scale, impactful habitat restoration happen in the Suncoast. So Sarasota, Manatee, Hillsborough, Pinellas County. We want to find good projects to do that are going to benefit the environment and help clean our water.
And oysters.
And
right?
oysters are a big part of it.
Oysters are the answer? I thought scallops were the answer.
Scallops would be the answer if they did well here, but oysters, they do the same thing. They filter the water, they provide a building block to regrow an ecosystem, and they attract a lot of fish, which a lot of people love. So,
and they clean the water, right?
They do. Up to a single oyster will do up to 50 gallons of water per day. So
and you had told me back in the day, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, Sarasota was known for oysters.
Yep. So back then, I mean, there was a market for it. It was, something that they would come down with the boats and load them to the gun walls full of oyster shells. So a lot of the natural oyster reefs got taken out.
Right, because you have to have the shells, right?
Got to have the shells. That's why you can't, if you take all the shells, you don't get them regrowing. So our solution would be reintroduce that hard material and regrow those oyster beds and bring them back.
So we're in a canal front setting. I look across, I see the seawalls. Are those oysters that are growing on the seawalls?
A lot of what's growing on these are oysters, but if you look at the wooden pilings, there are just cakes of them out there doing their thing.
So we don't want to kick those off because they are in our way. We want those.
We want those, and there's things you can do to promote more of them. There's a program you can get vertical oyster gardens.
You were telling me for free, you can actually get them and hang them on your seawall.
Yep, yeah, if you check out the websites of the Sarasota Bay Estuary Program, the Tampa Bay Estuary Program, they have a program where they're encouraging homeowners to take these things and hang them off waterways like this. They're recycled from the local restaurants, so when people go out around here and eat oysters, they're going right back out into the water and helping filter it.
So besides hanging oysters off my seawall, how can I help you and your organization make our bays and waterways cleaner and better and more fish-filled?
So what we're trying to do is work on a much larger scale and do hundreds of acres of oyster restoration on the bottom like a natural reef like they used to exist here. So for us to do that, we have to get the permits, and in our case, we're talking about a lot of volunteer projects, but most of it's going to be large scale with contractors and barges to put these out. Projects like they've done in the Panhandle, all over Texas, where you restore millions and millions of oysters, not just a couple off the end of your dock.
So how do we help? Is that money that it needs to be raised?
Money is always help. Money talks, money makes the world happen. We've learned that. It really helps us because the more funding we have available to us, the more we can use as match when we can leverage that against getting these big grants. It shows broad community support, which is a huge help. But if that's not your thing too, keep an eye on our website. We're just starting up our volunteer program. So we're going to be...
And what is the website?
www.oysterriverecology.org.
Okay.
And once we get the volunteer page up, we're going to be going out and having people come out and help build oyster bars as well to supplement some of the work we're going to have contracted.
I mean, I think that's something that we should really get behind. We're going to post information about it on our website. We'll keep you informed as we go along. We all want clean water. We want lots of fish, and we want things that are good for the environment. Thanks so much for joining us today on Realtalk.
Thank you.